Hey y'all, it's Erin Stern. It's that time again, weekly Q&A video. The first question comes from Angie. She asks, do you worry about or keep track of natural sugars in fruits and vegetables, Greek yogurt, and some grains? Well, Angie, I don't necessarily worry about the natural sugars in foods, but I am aware of them. And I think it's a matter of nutrient timing, and as far as post-workout in the morning. After a workout, I like to have an apple and some protein powder, something that is quickly digested, and I think as long as it's a whole unprocessed food, then you're okay in moderation. The next question comes from Robin. She asks, do you do cardio on leg day? I've been told it's overtraining your legs. Well, Robin, typically I don't do cardio on leg day, and then I'm also aware of how much recovery I have after leg day. So I try not to wake up the next morning and do a high intensity cardio session the next morning. Last 2 weeks of contest prep, it's a little bit different. I try to do, if I'm doing more cardio, I try to do maybe some low intensity cardio the day of, and something very, very light the next day. So the answer is no. Typically I don't do it. The next question comes from Corinna. She asks, do you do cardio before or after you lift, and for how long? I feel like I lose so much mass during cardio. Well, Corinna, that's a great question. I like to do cardio after I lift, and especially if you're trying to avoid losing mass and you're trying to gain muscle, then your focus should be on the weights when you're still fresh. Whereas if you're doing cardio for 30 minutes before you lift, then you're going to be a little bit tired by the time you get to weights, and you may not be able to give it your all. And then as far as for how long, that depends on the day. If it's a higher intensity session, then it may only be 20 minutes. If I'm kind of taking it easy, it may be 45 minutes, something like that. The next question comes from Crystal. She asks, what's your last week of contest prep look like? I've seen people manipulate carbs, sodium, water, etc., and everyone thinks their way is the right way, even though sometimes it seems a bit extreme. What's your take? Well, Crystal, that's a big question. Typically what I will do is the last week I'll cut my carbs, and then I'll carb load before the show. And I also manipulate my sodium levels, and I don't do too much cutting with water. I don't feel like it's necessary, and that's just for me. And I think it's a matter of maybe doing some research and seeing what the different ways are, and then giving things a try. I have some friends that do fat loading rather than carb loading. I tried that one time, and I kind of spilled over, and I look kind of fat on stage, so I won't do that again. Another really good resource is online. I looked up Lee Labrada's take on sodium loading and cutting, and it was a very informative article. I think it's on bodybuilding.com, and it talks about the different amounts of sodium that he would do the week of, and then manipulating the sodium 48 hours before, because it may seem a bit extreme, yes, but what you want to do is you want to throw your body off balance when you get up on stage. So that's the goal. And of course, the way we look when we're on stage, super shredded, is not something that can be maintained all the time. So yes, you do want to be off balance and in a good way. And yes, you do want to be extreme, but you want to still stay healthy. The next question comes from Gustavo. He asks, what could be, for you, based on experience, the best workout routine to target specifically glutes and hamstrings? Well, Gustavo, there are so many different exercises to target the glutes and hamstrings. I think any kind of squat or leg press where your upper leg is going below parallel, you're going to recruit your glutes. So keep that in mind on your squats, even if you have to go a little bit lighter. If you can go below parallel, then that will definitely help. Some other exercises which are great would be glute ham raise, your reverse hyperextensions, and stiff leg deadlifts, good mornings, weighted bridge. That's another great one for glutes, and that's an exercise that you kind of have to do in the corner, but totally worth it. And then as far as reps and sets, things for hamstrings, I've always been told, or I've always read, that if you want to do your leg curls, you want to go a little bit heavier and lower reps, and then things like the stiff leg deadlifts, you want to do a little bit more reps, like 10 to 12. And you know, if you're just starting out, the usual 3 to 4 sets of 8 is a good place to be. And then for the glutes, I go a little bit higher rep on the glutes too, like something weighted bridge. I may do 3 sets of 15 to 18 reps. So that's a lot of booty information right there. Hopefully that helps. Until next week, train hard, y'all.